In this video, I'll demonstrate the part 2 of the user-defined class. So in this demonstration, I'll discuss and demonstrate how to use the this reference, how to declare OOP elements using this access modifier, public, private, and then the two methods, mutator and accessor. And then the difference, I'll demonstrate the difference between instance and static variables and instance static methods. Okay, so I'll demonstrate all of these using a class. We will declare a class and we will use it. The class is rectangle. So let's start. So first, let's declare the class rectangle. And then ipasok lang natin tong comments. This will serve as our guide. So let's save it first. So isi-save lang natin sa Java demonstration folder. Let's name it rectangle.java. So let's declare. Let's first use public. Let's demonstrate tong public access. So let's declare three attributes for this class: color of the rectangle, length, and then width. So we use the public access modifier. So public string color, and then for the length, it should be double length, and then public double width naman. Okay, so at this point, we can now use this class to instantiate an object. So let's create another program. Let's call it rectangle runnable. This will contain the executable program. We will use our template here to this program. So let's save it first. So same as the class name, rectangle runnable. Let's also declare the main method, public static void main string args. By the way, let's declare a constructor here. Declare muna tayo ng constructor. So declare natin yung default constructor. This is the constructor with no parameter. But let's put a value for that. So color, initial value, default values. Color, empty string. For the length, 0.0. For the width, 0.0. And let's create another constructor, one with one parameter. For the color, so string C, and then color equals C. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin to create an object. So let's create an object. So two objects, rectangle R1 equals new rectangle, one with no parameters, and yung isa naman, let's just duplicate this. Yung isa with one parameter, sabihin natin yung color ng rectangle is green. Okay? So let's output. Let's declare na lang a method here sa baba na mag-print nung values. So let's call it print rectangle. Para tatawagin na lang natin to, system.out.print print line. So color, we will output the color. Length, we will output length. And then width, we will output width. And we put an empty print line para makita natin yung separate ng per object. Okay? So since ito, we have now this method, so we can now call it dito sa runnable program natin. So let's see kung ano yung values. So r1 dot print rectangle. And ganun din for r2. Let's print the values of the rectangle. Okay? So let's see. Sinave ko yun sa drive D sa Java demonstration folder. So let's compile rectangle.java and then yung isa, rectangle runnable. Or you can compile two programs with one compile statement, Java C, and then file name space file name. If you have another program to compile, space the file name with the .java extension. Sige, enter ko lang. Okay. So, nagka-problema siya dito sa quotation. Palitan ko lang ng di nababasa yung character. Recompile, okay, successful. So, ang kailangan natin dyan i-run is yung rectangle runnable. Ayun. So, okay, tama, di ba? So, yung first rectangle, no empty string, 0.0, 0.0 width, length, and then width. For the second rectangle, yung R2, na initialize niya, naka-initialize ng value, which is yung green. So, how about we put values for length and then width? So, how do we do that? So, if you want to put values, it's either you can create another constructor or you can put directly to yung values dun sa instance variable nung object na yun. So for example, r2.length, we can put values here. Sabihin natin 2.8, r2.width, 3.4. Okay? So yan. Yan yung isang way para lagyan ng values yung mga attributes natin. So let's compile again and then run. Okay, so far tama naman, di ba? Nalagyan natin ng values yung rectangle 2 object natin. 2.8, and then 3.4. Okay? So dito, na-access natin yung length and then width because of naka-declare siya as public. Okay? So yan yung public access. Ibig sabihin, di ba we have two files here, rectangle.java, rectangle runnable.java. So mag-separate file sila. When you declare attributes and methods as public, pwede siyang ma-access ng kahit anong class. Okay? Ng kahit na anong class. So in this case, separate files sila, separate class. Pero na-access pa rin natin yung length and then width. So yan yung feature ng public access modifier. Okay? How about kung private? If I change this into private access, so pinalitan ko lang yung lahat na naka-public as private. So let's see, let's compile again. Okay, so tingnan nyo. So meron na siyang error. Nagka-error na po yung program natin. So length has a private access, and then width has a private access. Since magkahiwalay na file sila, ang definition natin ng private access, yung sariling class lang yung may access. So kung itong color, okay ito, same class lang yan, di ba? Within the class lang na access ng length, width, same class. But in other class like rectangle runnable, hindi na siya pwedeng i-access. So hindi na natin to pwedeng gawin. Okay? So para one solution is to declare another constructor. So let's declare another constructor. So rectangle string C, and then double yung dalawa muna, double with double length. So dito width equals W, length equals L. Okay? So let's declare another constructor, this time yung tatlo naman. So kopyahin ko lang yan, dagdagan ko nito, then dagdagan ko ito. Okay? So I have now here 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 constructor. So kapag naka-private yan, you can do several constructor to initialize your values. So pwede na natin tong malagyan ng 2.8 and 3.4. So let's test this. Okay, wait lang. Okay. So mali, dapat gawin natin tong W, and then ito naman length. Okay. Yun, okay. So far, okay, working yung mga constructor po natin. Okay, so that's the demonstration for the public and private access. So I hope you get the idea. Public, kahit aling class may access. Kapag private naman, yung class lang niya mismo yung may access dun sa variables methods na yun. Okay? So this reference is ginagamit siya if sige, pakitaan ko kayo ng demonstration ito. So dito sa ginawa nating constructor, public rectangle, and then yung parameter natin C. Di ba yung C serves as a temporary variable na kung ano man yung ilagay niya as parameter, values dun sa parameter, yun yung ma-assign sa attribute na color. Okay, so what if I put here same same attribute name? So meron tayo ditong color, ang gagamitin ko ring parameter color. So dito, bali sa loob nito, ang gagawin natin is color equals color. The question is this valid? Let's see, let's compile. So okay, valid naman siya, di ba? So let's use this. Let's use this constructor. So let's declare another. Let's call it R3 equals new rectangle. Gamitin natin yung constructor na yun with one parameter. Sabihin natin red. So compile. Valid yun kasi na-compile, di ba? Successful na compile, walang error. But sige, kulang pa. Let's print the values of R3. So R3 print rectangle. Okay, tingnan nyo. Ito. So null yung nangyari. Kasi ibig sabihin dyan, nalilito na si compiler kung alin yung tinutukoy mo dito. Kung yung color ba, yung attribute ba, or yung parameter. Itong color ba, yung attribute, or yung parameter. Okay? So to avoid this confusion, dyan po papasok yung paggamit ng this. So if you are pertaining to the attribute, eto, di ba? Ito yung paglalagay natin, yung attribute na ito, yung attribute na to. So if you are pertaining to the color na attribute, dyan nyo po dapat lagyan ng this. Okay? Kapag etong this.color, eto yan, yung attribute. Kapag etong color lang with the this reference, yung parameter yun. Okay? Sige, try natin. Compile, successful. Yun. Okay, red. Nakapag-assign na tayo ng red sa R3. Because tama na yung pag-initialize. Yung red is na-initialize na siya dito sa attribute color natin. Okay? So, yan po yung gamit ng this reference to reference the attributes or instance variables within the class. Okay? Ang advantage nito is hindi ka na mag-iisip ng temporary variable. Okay? Kasi paano kung may isa pang variable dyan na nagsisimula din sa letter C? So, may dalawa ka ng C. So, minsan malilito ka na. Pero if you use the same attribute name as your parameter name, yan, dadagdagan mo lang ng this, di ka na malilito. Okay? So, gawin din natin dyan sa ibang part nitong program natin. So, width, and then length. So, ito magigitong this.width equals width, this.length equals length. Kopyahin ko lang to, lagay ko dito. Ganon din sa this.color. Palitan ko na rin to, gawin kong color. And then yung length and width. Yeah. Okay? Sige, unahin natin pala si length. Baliktarin ko lang. Unahin natin si length. Dito rin. Yan. So, unahin natin si length before the width. Sige, let's try kung meron ba nagbago. Okay, so far wala naman, di ba? Yung R1, default values pa rin. Ito, correctly initialized. Ito rin yung R3, meron siyang red. Okay? So, mas okay na kapag ginagamitan ng this. To avoid confusion and di ka na rin mag-iisip ng pangalan. Temporary variables. Okay, akit ko lang to. We are done with this reference. Next is yung mga mutator methods. Ito. Yung question here, paano kung gusto kong palitan yung mga values na initialize ko dito? Okay? So, since naka-private yun, halimbawa, etong sa R2, diba gusto kong palitan ng white, for example. So, diba dapat yung gagawin ko R2.color, gagawin natin white. Okay? So, during your program, yung pag-initialize nito using the constructor is, yun yung initial value. All throughout your program, pwede pang mabago yung mga values niyan, depende sa nire-require ng program nyo. Paano kung ganun? Na-initialize ko sa una green, and when I run the program, merong part doon na kailangan kong palitan ng color. So, papalitan ko siya ng color white. Paano kung ito? Diba, this is invalid. Why? Sige, try natin. Invalid siya kasi naka-private nga. We cannot access the attribute color sa R2 kasi nga naka-private. So, dyan na po papasok yung paggamit ng ganun, hindi lang paglagay ng values kundi pag-print din. So, halimbawa ipiprint ko din yung for example si R3, color ni R3. Sige, compile lang natin. Yan. Ganun din. Private access. We cannot we cannot put values directly. And then, hindi natin pwedeng ma-access yung values directly. So, hindi to, invalid to kung gagawin nyo to. So, nandyan po si mutator and then accessor methods. So, in declaring accessor mutator methods, I give you the format. Unahin muna natin si accessor. So, meron lang naman po ito mga format in declaring. So, kapag accessor method, use to get values. Pag mutator naman, use to change values. So, ang format po ni accessor, we have the modifier, data type, the word get, attribute name, and then return attribute name. Attribute name na lang yung gawin natin. Attribute name. Okay, that is the format. How about for the mutator? Same. Start with the modifier. Void. All mutator methods are void methods. So set attribute name. Meron siyang parameter. Data type nung attribute, and then the attribute name. And then inside this, that attrib name equals the attribute name. Semicolon pala dito. Yan yung format. So, yung accessor methods are based from your accessor, and then mutator methods are based from your instance variables. So, kung ilan yan din yung number of accessor and then mutator methods. So, sabi ko nga, yung mga accessor yun yung mga get methods, mutator naman set. Or yung tawag nga natin sa accessor, getters, mutator naman, setters. So if you have color, we have set color, get color. Length, set length, get length. Width naman, get width, set width. Okay? So unahin natin yung mga accessor. So let's follow the format, modifier. So it is always public. So public, yung data type niya, color muna, string, di ba? String yung data type niya. Get, the attribute name is color. So dapat gagawin mo lang capital C kasi ano tayo, camel casing, di ba? So yan, and then we return color. Okay? So ganyan po kasimple yung accessor method for one attribute sa color. Sige, let's do length. So, public, ano yung data type? Double. Get length. And then we return the length. So, width naman, public, double, get width, we return width. Okay, so we are done with the accessor methods. So you just follow the format, and eto na siya. Mutator methods. So kung meron tayong get, meron tayong mga set. Eto na yung set. So modifier, public. Parati siyang void. Public, set. Unahin natin yung color, set color. So data type ng color is string, attribute name color, and then inside the body this dot color equals color. Length naman, public void set length. So double yung data type niya, double length. This dot length equals length. Width naman, public void set width. Double width. This dot width equals width. Okay. So, okay na yung accessor and then mutator methods natin. We can now use this to change values, change or access the specific values of our attributes. So, sabi ko kanina, si R2, for example, gusto natin palitan ng white. So, for you to call accessor and then mutator methods, object name lang. Okay, object name lang. So, if you want to change ito, so R2 dot set color. Diba, yung gagawin ni set, mutate, mag-change. Baguhin niya yung values nung color ni R2. So, gagawin nga natin yung white. And then, sabi natin, i-output natin yung values ni R3, yung color ni R3. So, system.out. Nakita yung program natin kanina, diba? I-output natin. So, kailangan ng print line. So, if you want to access the value of the color of R3, hindi na tayong R3.color kasi nga naka-private. So, nandyan yung accessor method na get color. Okay? Sige, let's see. So, successfully compiled. Yun. Okay? So, ito, na-print natin yung red. Ito yan. Diba? Na-print natin yung value ni R3, which is red. And then, napalitan natin yung green into white. Okay? So, that's how you call accessor and then mutator methods. Object name, and then the method name. Kung gusto niyo naman palit, sige, lagyan ko lang to ng label. So, R3's color. Paano naman kung length yung gusto mo nyung baguhin? Halimbawa, si R3, lalagyan na natin ng length. So, R3.set length. Um, 5.2 R3.set width 10.3. So let's check. Okay, so yan. Nagkaroon na siya ng values, di ba? Ito. So 5.2, 10.3. This is using accessor and then mutator methods. Okay, wag kayong malito. Accessor, get values, is to get values. Mutator naman, used to change values or set values. Mostly ginagamit talaga siya kapag yung mga attributes po natin are declared as private. Pero kapag naka-public naman, di ba pwede nating directly access yung attribute na yun. Pero nandyan si accessor and then mutator methods kapag yung mga attributes na yun naka-declare na private. Okay? Okay, so next. Next is, tapos na tayo with mutator and then accessor. Ito naman, instance variables and then static variables. Actually, ito, ang tawag natin dito, instance variables. Okay? In a declaration, mahalata nyo yung static kapag may keyword na static. Kapag wala, default yan, instance variables. So ito, instance variables to. Let's declare another attribute. So, tawagin natin siyang rectangle count. Yung rectangle count, ito, in this case, naka-ano siya, instance variable. Kapag gagawin natin siyang static, we will just add static na keyword. Okay, so this becomes now a static variable. So anong pinagkaiba ng static and then instance? Kapag instance, in every instance or in every object, independent yung values niya dun sa object na yun. Okay, whereas kapag static, ito na lang tandaan nyo, kapag static, yung values ng static variable pare-pareha sa lahat ng object. Halimbawa, may 10 tayong object, yung mga instance variables nila magkakaiba ng values. Pero kapag static variable, lahat yung 10 na objects na yon, they have the same values for that variable, for that static variable. Okay? So sana malinaw po yun. So to demonstrate, let's print dito na lang sa dulo. Let's print yung mga color nila. Yung color ni R1, R2, R3. Palitan ko rin to, R1, R2, R3. Yun, di ba? Iba-iba yung color nila. Yung isa wala, yung iba, yung R2 naman white, yung R3 red. How about yung rectangle count nila? Let's see. So dito, tawagin na lang nating rect count. And then, sige, palitan muna natin to as public para ma-access natin directly. So, gawin natin ito. Rectangle count. Let's see kung ano yung values nila. Yun. Diba? Para-pareha 0. Para-pareha sila ng values. So, sige. Para makita nyo, ito, papalitan ko lang yung isang values sa R1 lang. So, gagawin ko R1 dot sige, R3 tuloy. R3.rectangle count equals gawin nating 5. So, tingnan nyo. Ito, papalitan ko yung rectangle count ni R3 ng 5. Ano kayang magiging values ni R1 and then ni R2 sa rectangle count? Yun. Okay. Ito, pansinin nyo. So, pare-parehas yan, 5. So, yan yung feature ng static variable. So, yung values across the objects, across your objects, pare-parehas yung values nila. You can call the static variable using an object or kaya pwede nyo naman siyang tawagin using the class name. So, you can use, ano yung class name natin? Rectangle. So, rectangle.rectangle count. Okay? So, valid yan. Yan. Okay, rectangle count 5. Kasi nga, hindi siya dependent sa object. Okay? Whereas kapag instance variables, like yung mga color, dependent siya sa object. Okay? You cannot call instance variables without an object. Okay, so sana malinaw yung static variable. Let's go now to yung last. Yung static instance and then static methods. So, ganun din po yung pinagkaiba sa declaration kapag walang keyword na static, that is instance method. So, these are instance methods. So, another example of instance method. Let's compute for the perimeter. So, to compute for the perimeter, di ba, perimeter is sum of all sides. So, double perimeter equals 2 times length. Diba, rectangle meron siyang dalawang length, tapos meron siyang dalawang width. So, ito times lang natin. Yeah. And then we return perimeter. How about for the area? Compute area. For the area, length times width. So, length times width, and then we return the area. Okay? So, these are examples of instance methods. Sabi ko nga, ma-identify mo yan kapag wala siyang static. Okay, wala siyang static in between the modifier and then the return type. So, to call instance methods, object name that method name. Oh, yan lang. To call instance method, use the object name and then method name. So para tawagin natin si compute perimeter, since it will return a value, so kailangan meron magsalo. Ang sasalo nun is yung system out.println. So sabihin ko R1, si R1 wala mang values, di ba? So R2 na lang tayo. R2's perimeter. So to call R2 object name that compute perimeter. Kapag area naman, ganun din, compute area. Okay? So let's try this out. Okay, cannot find symbol. Compute area. Pag cannot find symbol, sometimes wrong spelling ito. Ginawa kong computer area. So dapat tanggalin natin yung R para maging compute area. Kapag mga ganito pong error na cannot find symbol, it's either wrong spelling lang yan. So run. Okay, so tama, di ba? Ito. So yung perimeter niya yan, and then yung area niya yan. Yung pagbawas ng decimal points, meron namang mga available na mga methods to do that. Or pwede naman printf to limit the decimal value. Okay, so yan yung instance method. Paano naman kapag static? So in a declaration, ang pinagkaiba lang nila is yung pinagkaiba nilang is yung static na keyword. So public static void add rectangle count. So ito, this is now a static method kasi nga may keyword na static. So yung gagawin ko dito, kapag tatawagin natin si rectangle count, mag-a-add siya ng 1 sa rectangle. So rectangle count plus plus. Pwede mo lang tawagin yung mga static variables inside static methods. 'Di ba itong rectangle count static variable to, 'di ba? Ito sa taas. Ito, rectangle static siya. You can call this inside a static method. So let's declare another static. Print rectangle count. Rectangle count. Rectangle count. So yung gagawin lang naman itong unang method at rectangle count is to add 1 sa rectangle count natin, and then ito namang isa, i-output lang niya yung value ni rectangle count. So to call this, you can call static method using object name, pero pwede naman po. To avoid confusion na lang, ito, class name na lang yung pangtawag natin sa static method. Okay? So let's try, tawagin natin si add rectangle count. So to call this, class name na lang rectangle dot So rectangle dot add rectangle count. So mag-a-add na siya ng 1. 'Di ba yung rectangle count na nilagay natin is 5. So dito assuming na this becomes now 6 yung rectangle count. I-output din natin. So rectangle using yung ginawa nating method print rectangle count. Okay, eto, nag-add siya ng 1. Eto naman, ipiprint niya yung rectangle count. So, yan, successfully compiled. Ayun. Okay, eto. So, tama, di ba? 6. So, anong pinagkaiba ng etong instance and then static method? So, yung advantage ng static method, kahit hindi ka pa gumawa ng object, pwede nyo nang matawag yung method na yun. Whereas kapag instance method, kailangan mo munang gumawa ng object. Diba? Nire-require kasi siyang gumawa ng object. Object name, that method name. So, kailangan meron muna mag-exist na mga object before you call instance method. Whereas kapag static, kahit wala. Diba? Kahit wala. Sige, i-try kong i-delete to lahat. Diba? Ito yung paggawa natin ng object. Ito. Diba? This is instantiation. So, kahit wala po yan, ito lang yung itira natin, yung dalawang line of code. 2 lines of code natin. It will work. Yun. Okay? Rectangle. Count 1. Ito, nag-add siya ng 1. Ito naman, print niya yung rectangle count. Whereas nga kapag ito, yung instance methods natin, kailangan mo nang gumawa ng object. Okay? So that's all for this demonstration. Thank you for watching.